Kiwi were surviving perfectly well before humans arrived. They were living their lives doing what Kiwi do. And it's with the introduction of man and introduced pests and predators, they're struggling to survive where they should be because of human intervention. So we need to allow them spaces where they're safe, where they can breed in a safe environment and the population can survive. Really, really important.
So New Zealand is a really special part of the world. Back many years ago, when it branched off from the rest of Gondwanaland, it evolved in relative isolation. The forests themselves, they are rainforests. They're really luscious. You've got foliage that the kiwi will fossik through. It didn't have a lot of the mammals that we are used to growing up with, and so New Zealand's bird life and fauna is very unique. New Zealanders are so incredibly proud that the kiwi is their national icon. It stemmed from unusual origins. An Australian married a New Zealander and developed some boot polish, and that boot polish needed a name, and so he asked his wife what he should call it. He wanted a short, snappy name, and so she chose kiwi. Could have been any other bird, but that's where the roots have come from, the New Zealanders being called kiwis all around the world.
It's just the shape of its rump and the way the feathers flow. It just all works, and you just see them walking away, you think, wow.
They stomp around, they make noises, they've got unusual characteristics.
If you saw what they could do without wings, you would be amazed. They can climb up a bank, they burrow into holes, they're just incredible little birds.
If you're lucky enough to see a kiwi in the wild or even hold one, which is really special, you realise what a unique and amazing creature they are, and that we've really got to do everything we can to save them. Unfortunately, since humans arrived in New Zealand, kiwi have become endangered due to loss of habitat and the introduction of mammalian predators.
Some of those predators that we have out there, kiwi is their best meal, for a stoat to have a kiwi chick. It must be just like Christmas for them. And at the moment, our pests and predators are winning. I look at other birds around, and you look at the pukeko or the weka, and they're good parents. They raise their young well and they work together, but our kiwi don't, and they definitely need us to help them to get to adulthood, at least, yeah.
In 1999, 8 adult kiwi were found unexpectedly in the bush just beside Whakatane township. With the discovery of those kiwi, it prompted the locals to spur into action. So the Department of Conservation, the Bay of Plenty Regional Council and the local iwi Ngāti Awa formed a partnership and started the Whakatane Kiwi project. And in 2006, the Whakatane Kiwi Trust was formed as a charitable trust and protect the Whakatane Kiwi population. So since 2006, the Whakatane Kiwi Trust has grown a lot to encompass a lot of different activities.
So we're at a Kiwi aversion training day, which is really, really important for this district because we're quite unique in the sense that we have quite a few Kiwi and neighbouring reserves here, as well as weka, which is important to point out as well. We can have dogs come along, they're trained to keep away from Kiwi and weka, and there's a certain way of doing that, and that's quite important because if those dogs were to try and get out into the bush, it could have quite a devastating impact on those species if, for whatever reason, they decided to kill them.
Monitoring is done every single day by a very dedicated group of what we call pingers. You know, they go around with their little aerials and we get the signal from the transmitter, which is on the Kiwi on the upper leg. So that information we get comes in a 10-minute block. 2 minutes of that tells us even what time he got up last night, how long he was out for, if he's incubating an egg or if he's not incubating an egg, or if he's left that egg. So then gives us the opportunity to maybe go in and grab that egg and get it hatched somewhere else. So monitoring the Kiwi to know what they're up to, yeah.
Our main activity is definitely predator control.
By having predator control, it gives the Kiwi a chance to raise chicks to a weight where they can defend themselves. Not only that, it creates a whole lot of other benefits in terms of biodiversity.
By doing that, we're keeping the rats and stoats and everything down. Of course, the Kiwis flourish a bit more, but also the side effect of that is the bird life in the bush has grown quite a lot more. The trees are actually flowering and not being ripped to bits. So when you walk through the bush now, you can be walking through there and the birds are all around you. The bird life is, yeah, much bigger now without the rats and possums and stuff like that.
We're using traps that meet all the welfare standards for being used in public conservation land to trap these animals.
You flinched. No, I didn't squeal though.
The volunteers are responsible for going around their trap lines every fortnight, checking their traps, keeping the traps clean, recording their captures. People bring a lot of different skills and knowledge to the trust and to the work. There's a lot of job satisfaction that you get from going out with people who are enthusiastic about what we're doing.
I suppose we all have a common goal of making the bush a better place, and the people who are willing to spend hours of their time every week going out and trapping, they're generally good people, and so it's great to be around them.
Gorgeous. So we've got a good looking membrane, by the way. Nice and fixed. Yep, that looks good. No shadowing. And it's nice and viable. Beautiful. Feels warm to touch. Fantastic. So the National Kiwi Hatchery works with over 15 different projects across the North Island. Those projects monitor the kiwi out in the wild and bring the eggs to us. What we need to do is provide them with a safe environment to hatch. So by bringing eggs here to the hatchery and incubating them, hatching them and keeping them safe until a stoat-proof 1 kilo in weight, we're able to increase survival chances from just 5% in the wild to 65%.
Post-hatch, we try and get a radio transmitter on their leg within 3 to 5 days of hatch. We need to go in to get the transmitter on so we can monitor them. And the project needs to monitor the chicks to know their survival rates, what's happening out there as far as predation goes.
Yeah, I've got to get down there. I got him. Hallelujah.
Good work,
Just got to get 1 leg, 2 legs, pull him out. Hallelujah.
What a legend. Oh, he looks lovely.
Oh, he's so frightened. Right, babe. I've got you.
Well, you're very aware that you're working with a wild animal. It's highly stressful for the chick, and it's highly stressful for you. And what you need to do is be effective and efficient as possible in a very short period of time. So you don't want to incur any more stress on the chick. This is the tricky bit.
I'm just going to make sure it's not too tight and too loose.
There's strict processes and procedures to follow when putting on a band. That's issued by the Kiwi Recovery Board. You can't do this unless you've been trained properly to do it. And there's the process of how tight it has to be and how many rounds of plastic tape you have to use.
And you've got to make sure it clicks.
Age of the bird.
You heard it click?
Yep, good.
So that means it's okay, but I always check.
Yep.
And it's fine.
Yep.
I know, we've had enough, haven't we, all of us? Not fair for you.
Once you've caught it and put the transmitter on, you need to give it a health check every month. So every 4 weeks you need to recatch it, and what we do is we change the transmitter from one leg to the other, give it a good health check and make sure that it's healthy and bright, and we put it back out, and then we'll monitor it again in another 4 weeks' time. Everybody's amazing. I mean, the amount of hours that are put into this project on a volunteer basis would just blow your brain. It's so valuable, and yet people do it willingly and spend hours and hours and hours monitoring birds, but also pest and predator control. It's phenomenal the amount of hours that go into this project, and this is one of many projects throughout New Zealand.
I've met so many great people, and we're all there for the common good. When you get a group of people who are there for the common good, it's a lot of fun.
We all come from different walks of life, and we wouldn't want to be married together, for sure. But what we're doing is good for our community, and we love it, and it's a good feeling.
People have really got in behind this project and really supported it. And the fact that we've been doing this for the last 20 years and there's still massive community support to keep the project going, it speaks volumes, really.
For me personally, I just love it. I love to get out there and get close to the kiwi. You'll find out from everybody they do it because they love doing it. We feel we're saving the kiwi, we feel that we are looking after them and keeping an eye on them, and really they're just in our bush around us everywhere, so we're very lucky here in Whakatane.
So even with all the conservation action that's happening around kiwi, they're still at risk. The population is steadily declining at 2 to 3% every year. If we don't reverse that, they could become extinct in the wild within just a couple of generations. So it's really important that we get everyone on board and get involved and embrace the predator-free movement. That way we can reverse this and hold on to our national treasure.